Hey guys, Jonathan here, and today we're taking an early look at the LEGO Marvel 2026 Spider-Man vs. Mysterio The Daily Bugle. LEGO sent me this set early to review, but of course all thoughts are my own, and this set comes out January 1st with 781 pieces, 7 minifigs, 4 or 5 of which are new, depending on what your definition of new is, and an $100 price tag. So of the new sets coming out, I would say this is objectively the worst priced one, just 781 pieces for $100, but we're going to break it down and see if it's worth it. Of course, it is a part of the mini modular system, and it's a really cool addition to that lineup, so I'm going to have a video combining all the buildings here soon, but in today's video, let's go ahead and focus on this set and if it's worth $100 or not. So when it comes to minifigs, we'll start with our two true repeats. That is Spider-Gwen and Spider-Man. It is difficult that the Spider-Man we get now never seems to have the dual molded legs where he's got the red boots on. They just don't do that anymore, but it's a fine minifig with the arm printing otherwise. It's not a big deal. They have the web accessories, and Gwen's skateboard actually has some spiderweb stickers on it, which is a nice addition, but overall, nothing we haven't seen before, and if you have any LEGO Spider-Man sets, you probably already have one, if not both of these. Now, Jameson is one of those figures that's new-ish. It uses the same J. Jonah Jameson head that came in the big Daily Bugle set, the modular, that is. And, of course, we can flip that around and see the webbed mouth, which is quite a cool variation there. But, it is a new combination of parts, but every single one of these parts have come in other sets. Like, the torso came on Michael Scott from The Office, as well as Professor X from the X-Men Mansion, and he just has regular hair and legs. So while it is a cool figure and an essential one to have included in the Daily Bugle, also, it's all pieces we've seen elsewhere. So I don't know if you would count this as new or not. Bricklink would technically count it as new, but to me, I'm not so sure. And Miles Morales is technically a new minifigure. The torso is what's new. The head is the same one we've been getting on Miles minifigs for the last couple years, but it's definitely interesting to get a new Miles torso. I'm not really sure that a new one was needed, but, hey, anytime we get a new variation of any character, it's cool, and it does bump out the new figure count for this set, so, hey, the more the merrier. Mysterio is definitely one of the main draw minifigures in this set, and it's really, really awesome. He does have this green effect piece here, which goes in his hand, as you can see, just built with 3 pieces. But I'll go ahead and remove that so that I can bring the camera in closer and we could get a better look at this figure, because he's doing something very interesting that no LEGO Mysterio has done before, and that is putting a printed head beneath the fishbowl. This head is so crazy with, like, the mist effect on it, and of course seeing the skull on there is actually kind of terrifying because it, like, amplifies it up. Now, one thing I noticed is you could actually flip the head around and show it this way if you just want it to, look a little bit more, like, mystical inside without the skull. Of course, the skull would be showing on the back, but just for play or for photos or things like that, that is a cool way to do it. Now, the design of the suit doesn't appear to be from any specific comic or game iteration that I can tell. I may be wrong, but it just looks like something that's heavily inspired, but possibly a LEGO original design. It does look really good, though, and probably would make good for, like, purist customs just for other characters in general. Now, the cape is one of the rubber capes that we've been getting. It's the Batman-style cape that has the, spiked edges. And it is in that kind of, like, fuchsia pink type color. It does look really good, but I never think of Mysterio as having, like, a edged, cape like that. So I really wish it was just the Superman style and just like a regular cape. But it seems like the superheroes' capes are moving more and more away from the paper capes and only really giving us these ones. So it's a nice figure, don't get me wrong, but it's not my favorite Mysterio we've ever gotten. Just a nice addition to an already robust lineup of this character. And here we have definitely the most interesting inclusion in the set, Venomized Captain America, which is such an interesting choice overall. Now, here's what's interesting about this figure. In the comics, Captain America has merged with the Venom symbiote before, but he's never looked like this. This is a completely original LEGO design, which I do appreciate, but man, when we have such a long list of LEGO Marvel figures that we've never gotten in a set before, this is nowhere near the top of what I would want to get. It is cool, though, don't get me wrong, and when we look underneath, you can see he's got a Venomized head, only printing on one side, though, interestingly enough, but I like that even the A is printed on this side, and what is kind of interesting, too, is we get a completely new helmet here. We've never had the Captain America helmet in black before, and it does have printing on the front. We get a completely new Captain America shield, which is the Cap shield, with a new red, white, and blue logo underneath. Like, this doesn't look like any Cap shield we've gotten before, and then, of course, you put the symbiote on top of it. That makes it more interesting. And it's in black. In the Lego Marvel theme, we've never gotten the shield in the black color before, so there's a lot of new recolors and things like that here. And, of course, the most glaring thing is the dual-molded leg. After all these years, I have made jokes that Steve Rogers has never had a dual-molded or even printed leg in a Lego Marvel set, and now he finally has, so I can't make that joke anymore. But it is kind of crazy when you look, like, this figure is so detailed. You can see that, you know, he's got printing on the toes there, but even on the black side, there's a little bit of blue, like, right beneath the hip there. The hip is printed. So Lego went all out with this figure and gave us all these new printed pieces and parts and recolors for a figure that, unfortunately, as great as the figure is, I feel like nobody has been asking for. So I like it a lot, don't get me wrong. It's just, why are we getting this? And finally, we have the Rhino figure, which is kind of new for this set. I mean, really, the only new thing here is that torso. It's a really great torso, and once again, a really nice one for Purist Customs, but the head is the same Shang-Chi head we've been getting for almost, well, it would be 5 years now, which is wild, and it's been used on other characters. It just debuted on Shang-Chi, but you know, we're getting that same Rhino helmet we've seen in other sets, so really the only new thing here is the torso. It's not bad, but honestly, we get the giant Rhino mech, so all you really see is the helmet and torso in the end anyways, so I mean, how much does it really matter? Like, once Rhino is actually in the mech, it works out just fine. Now, one thing to consider about the price of this set, again, it's $100. The mech sets are usually like $15 on their own. So $15, if you will, of the set is basically used on Rhino and, let's say, any one minifigure you want to include. I would have almost rather not had Rhino in the set and then had the set only be $85, but I digress. Anyways, the mech is good. I mean, you know, as mechs go, we do get the ball joint and we get a knee joint so that you could actually have him run. I like that a lot because, you know, a lot of times the mechs now are just using actually this joint that are used on the arms, so the legs aren't super posable, but thanks to these legs being posable, you can kind of like, you know, have him kneel over in like a Rhino pose, kind of like that. The only thing that kind of makes me go, is the fact that, like, the Rhino horn of the helmet is supposed to be, you know, the Rhino himself. So, you know, the head is very disproportionately small to the rest of the body. I almost wish that there was, like, a mechanism over top that closed over top and would be, like, a big helmet Rhino horn thing there. That would have... like a big Rhino horn that would go over the top, that'd be cool. But anyways, you know, you could move the fingers in to make fists and all that. It's fine. It's not the best build ever. It's not the worst build ever. It just kind of feels like it's taking up budget in the overall set. And yeah, that's all there is to say on that. All right, Jameson will be the guinea pig to walk us through the Daily Bugle, but before that, we'll point out any Easter eggs and references. So, 1941, of course, being the year the Daily Bugle was founded, we can open these front doors here to have a minifig walk through. Got Daily Bugle stickers above and on the doors. Then we have a newsstand over here, very reminiscent of the newsstand that comes in the big Daily Bugle modular. So that's cool. We've got some stickers here. Symbiotes, is anyone safe? And Crusher Hogan's wrestling comeback, which is a very, in my opinion, obscure reference to Crusher Hogan from Marvel Comics. Didn't expect to see that here. But inside, we have a new piece here for letter. At least it's new for the Lego Marvel theme. It may have been in other things, I don't know. But anyways, we've got that mailbox there with stickers and the little pigeon there. We do have a new sticker here for NYC Sewer with some rust on it, which is nice. And we have a 39th Street sticker here on that street sign. And then all of this actually comes apart so that you could rearrange your modular city. So if you wanted to do it like this and have the newsstand on this side, you can. And of course, we have all those other modulars out in sets right now, like Oscorp, Peter Parker's apartment, and all of that can combine in different ways. Like I said, I've got another video coming on that. But the way the set wants you to build this out is to have the newsstand over here underneath the fire escape. And then, of course, have this here. Oops, pulled out one of the Technic pegs. But you get the idea, and that's that for the outside of the ground floor. Then as we move around, you can see we have a J-hook here, like where you can have a figure, you know, in an action pose, webbing or flying around the bugle. And as we move around to the inside, we have those same newspapers on stickers here. I guess those are the current issues on circulation. And we have a little reception desk here. We don't actually get a receptionist to put there, but as you can see, somebody's about to empty out their trash bin here on the computer screen, which is nice. Then we'll go ahead and take the non-existent elevator up to the next floor, which is interesting. It has a little copy machine here, which is fun. And of course, we know Spider-Man loves pizza time, so there's a pizza box included. And we can open this up and see that there's nothing inside the box. But we'll go ahead and look around this floor a little bit. You can see you've got a Technic pin on the outside here, so if you wanted to move the J-hook up, you certainly can. We've got windows and some really nice like build and curving right there that works. The fire escape goes all the way up to the rooftop and all the way down. So I don't know if that's the way figures are supposed to commute to work between floors, but it is what it is. Then we'll move up one more floor. This is just kind of like the bullpen room. We've got a clock on the wall. We've got a little computer there that says drumsticks on sale. I assume that that's a Spider-Gwen reference because, of course, she's a drummer, but I'm not exactly sure. If anybody else thinks it's something other than that, I guess you can let me know in the comments, but here we have Rhino Rampage, breaking news, Zoo Gate destroyed. And that's cool because it has the actual mech in there. We also have a little safety deposit box there with some $100 bills hidden inside. Then as we turn it around, we actually have a play feature on the front of the building, interestingly enough. I really like that these windows have the lampshades on them, but this air conditioning unit moves those circles behind. It moves an entire wall piece behind there, and it just kind of makes it look like an illusion. Like, ooh, it kind of makes the TV look like it's glitching out as Mysterio takes over the live feed. And one thing I'll say is, see how when I push this all the way to our left, how you could see those pieces there? If I had it to do over again, you don't really know until you build it, so, you know, take this as a grain of salt to know what to do. But I would push the sticker all the way this way as much as possible. That way, even when you pull it this way, you don't have any dead space over here, or at least you can minimize the dead space. Let me know if that works out for you when you get the set. Anyways, traveling up, we have a spider here. And I guess while we're out here, we'll take a look. We've got a big Daily Bugle billboard on top of the building. I guess it's not a billboard because it looks like it would be a TV screen if it's advertising for a show tonight. But anyways, I guess we'll just flip around to the roof while we're here and then work our way down. Lots of rooftop space for a good final battle. And then we have Jameson's office. So in Jameson's office, he's got a chair. You know, I said Jameson was going to give us the tour, and then I literally never used him. So Jameson has a chair that he could spin around in his desk. There's a little coffee pot there, coffee cup. These drawers open, although there's nothing in them. And on the screen, of course, we could expect nothing else but for him to be writing a blog article saying Spider-Man is the worst. So when that's all said and done and we zoom out, that's the entire Daily Bugle. So I think that this is a really strong Daily Bugle build if you don't already have one, but it definitely pales in comparison to the big modular that was $350. Like, obviously, this couldn't possibly hold a candle to that. But this is a fun way for kids to get a Daily Bugle for, you know, significantly cheaper than that. And I think it overall offers a lot to the mini modular style with those other buildings. But overall, you know, I don't think this is the best mini modular we've gotten, but it's certainly a worthy addition to the collection. So with that being said, we'll zoom out and I'll give you my final thoughts. Well, thanks for checking out today's video, guys. Overall, I do like this set a lot. I think that it offers a lot of fun stuff. It's the cheapest Daily Bugle we've had in over a decade, which is nice. And overall, I think people are going to like this a lot. The final question, though, is it worth $100? I think it offers a lot of value. If you don't have any Spider-Man sets or minifigs at all, this would be a great introductory way to get into it. But overall, I would probably recommend waiting for a sale on this one. Even at like $80 would be a great price. Right in line, 781 pieces, all those minifigs for 80 bucks would be great. You might have to wait a while for that, but hey, if you got some Christmas money or birthday money laying around, you never know when a good deal might pop up. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Thanks again to LEGO for sending this my way to review, and I'll see you guys on the next video.